Welcome back. You are listening to the Mario Mukonda Show on Salam Media. It is 11:41 on this Wednesday, and it is time for our fitness segment with Aneesa Kathrada, who is a fitness trainer. So we all want a nice six-pack or washboard tummy, but we should be needing a much stronger core instead of having this beautiful abs that we can show off when we go down to the beach. Not all of us, though, because some of us are more modest and we prefer to cover up. Anyways, Anissa is joining me on the line, and we're going to be talking about exercises for core strength. Assalamu alaikum, Anissa.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shukran for joining me once again. So, why is it so important to have a strong core?
Okay, so what exactly do you mean when you say a core? For people that don't know what you're talking about, that's not your abs. That's not
Mm.
this here that you can see. Your core is actually inside. It's, in the middle of you. Your core actually helps with your entire body, not just your stomach. That's not just what your core is about. So,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly do you mean when you say what is a strong core and how do you get a strong core? Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that if I start training today, I can't expect to have a strong core or have a six pack by tomorrow or by the
Mm.
end of the week. So you need to know that it's going to take consistency and it's going to take between 6 to 8 weeks for you to actually feel a difference and for you to see a difference in your core as well. What
Mm-hmm.
your core does for you, though, it helps improve your posture. All of us got bad posture. That is a big problem. But that comes from having a weak core. We slouch the whole time, we're bent over, we're busy with
Mm.
our phones. Even when you're sitting and writing or you're sitting at your desk, you're not sitting up straight, you're leaning over, your
Eh,
shoulders are bent forward. Exactly, you saw that. That all comes from a weak core. So when you start strengthening your core and working on it the correct way, your posture will improve as well. What else your core affects is you'll actually feel a lot more fatigued if you have a weak core. Because, like I said, it affects your entire body. So it causes shortness of breath as well. So, if you do work on your core and you improve it, you'll actually see a difference in your energy levels. Your breathing will be a lot better as well. Back pain, we all have back pain, we know it. No matter how old you are, guaranteed you suffer from some sort of back ache, problem, whatever it is. Another way to help with your back problem, especially your lower back problems, is again working on your core. Having a stronger core will improve your back problems and you won't have that chronic pain and that ache here by your lower back as well. And overall, so when I mean your overall weakness, it's like lifting up things in everyday kind of activity. So whether it's bending down and cleaning, lifting up your clothing off the floor, whether it's jumping, any small simple movement, it comes from your core. All of this starts with your core. So to improve that, work on your core. I can't emphasize the importance of having a strong core.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking about working on our core, what are the most exercises that we can do to strengthen the core?
Okay, so before I get to that, let me just tell you that if you are currently training, great for you, but make sure that you include your core exercises and air exercises are two different things. Do not mix them up. Yes, your sit-ups and your crunches will help you with your core, but they're not core specific exercises. Okay, so you first need to understand the difference between your core exercises and your ab exercises. So for your core, I would suggest you start off with your basic crunches. Obviously, if you have a problem with your back or any issues like that, please get help from a professional when you're doing these exercises because you don't want to cause an injury or any other problems. So I would start off with your crunches, basic exercise, and the most important for core training is plank. Plank will help you all the way. Plank is hard, plank is terrible, but plank is the exercise that is going to make your core strong.
Mhm. Well, speaking about planks, I came across an article where some doctor mentioned that doing planks for long periods of time is not really good for your spine. In fact, it should be done within 10 seconds and then take a break and do 10 seconds. Rather do 10 seconds and more intervals instead of going like a plank of 40 seconds or a minute. Is there any truth to that?
Okay, so I definitely agree with the plank. If you do it for too long, that it does get bad for you. Because if you try to plank for as long as you possibly can, you will feel pressure on your lower back. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want that. We don't want there to be unnecessary pressure on any part of the body. Also, a lot of people that I've noticed, especially with my clients, their wrists end up giving them problems when they plank for too long. So we don't want to try to do good to strengthen our core, but we're also causing harm at the same time. So we're not really, doing any good for our bodies. Like it's not going to benefit us that way. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest do it in smaller times, but not 10 seconds. 10 seconds, you're not really feeling it. It's not kicking in as yet. So what I suggest is, just for example, today you start 10 seconds. This whole week you do 10 seconds. Great. Be consistent with that. Next week, maybe push to 12 seconds or 15 seconds. And then for the whole of next week, good, you do your 15 seconds. And then slowly from there, you can build onto it. But that's after you start strengthening your core. It gets stronger, so it allows you to do it for longer. But yeah, I'm also not a 1 minute plank person. Like rather keep it, I would rather do it in 30 seconds when I do get to that point.
Mm-hmm. And for people who aren't able to do planks, what other exercises can they do?
Okay, so like I said, you can do your crunches, your normal crunches, and another one that's very good for your core is your reverse crunches. So, you know what? You can Google them, look them up, and like I said, if you don't know or you're not sure about it, get professional help because you don't want to cause an injury while you are trying to help yourself. That's it's not going to work like that. So, if you can't plank, do some crunches, do some reverse crunches, do some flutter exercises. Those things will definitely help strengthen your core. Also, side plank is another one that's really great for your core. And there is like a variation of it to help if you are a beginner. So to make it a bit easier until your core is strong enough to help.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can yoga and Pilates help?
Definitely. 100%. If you're looking for a strong core and you're looking for a way to start, I would definitely suggest doing some Pilates. I'm not a fan of the whole yoga thing, but I would definitely suggest doing Pilates. And I know people think it's so silly and such a small, silly movement you're doing. You're just dropping one leg at a time. Those things will be the end of you. Pilates is another level. Like, yeah, that's complete core. So it's quite challenging.
Pilates is like yoga 2.0 when it looks like it's
Yeah.
easy, but it is not easy. When you start doing
No,
it, you're going to ask yourself, why did I even start doing this?
exactly. It's going to kill you from the inside. Everything will be on fire.
But at least it will be a good fire. What about walking? Does walking have any benefits? Can it help strengthen your core? If so, how are we supposed to walk in order to have a stronger core?
Okay, so that comes back to my first point with our bad posture. The problem is even
Mm-hmm.
when we walk, and a lot of runners, like my clients that are runners and like they're fast walkers, the problem is bad posture. So when we walk, we're like just slouching our shoulders, we're walking like this, and we don't realize it's actually bad to do it that way because we're doing more harm than good. So you need to
Mm-hmm.
concentrate, you need to keep reminding yourself how to do it, fix your posture, keep your shoulders up, keep your shoulders back as well, don't slouch. That can actually help you improve your core even when you're walking. So it will do good for you. It's just make sure that your posture is correct when you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and quickly tell us, what are the signs of a weak core? Like, how can a person who's just sitting here watching this or listening be able to determine if they have a weak core?
Okay, so number one is definitely your bad posture. Bad posture will give it away that your core is too weak. Number two would be you are tired all the time, fatigued. You get tired from doing small activities. So just bending down and picking up something off the floor, you're like, you need to take a breath after that. That's also a sign of a weak core. Number three, sorry, will be your back pain, constant back pain, and specifically lower back pain. So, like if you just picked up something and then you can feel it all of a sudden in your lower back, that's
Mm-hmm.
again a sign of a weak core. And the fourth one would be, like I did mention also, overall weakness. So, like if you're just taking something off the shelf and like your body is just, it doesn't feel strong enough to do simple everyday activities. So, like jumping is like such an effort for you, or bending down is an effort for you, or pulling and pushing things as well. So, your basic everyday movements, if you're struggling with basic movements in your everyday life, that's a sign of a weak core. And you should start doing something to strengthen that, because you don't want to get old and now you really can't do these things, all because you have a weak core.
Mm-hmm. How often should we do core exercises, and how often should we include them in our exercise routines?
Okay, so personally for me, I would make sure that I do it in every session with my clients. Whether we train twice a week, thrice a week, you will do it every session, and you will do it. It just depends. I'll make them do it for maybe like 20 minutes every session. But like if you're training on your own and things like that, I suggest 4 times a week. So you don't have to have intense abs 4 times a week. Even if you're doing it for 15 minutes, 4 times a week, that's great. Like that would help you. You'd see a difference. You know what? 2 times is not going to work. You're not going to benefit from it. So I would say minimum 4 times a week for at least 15 minutes each time.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that means that people can include a plank exercise, 30 seconds daily, 4 times a week, and do this until you get a stronger core. I
Exactly.
mean,
I would be
I mean,
consistent. Consistency is key, hey?
hmm. And it's true with the consistency, because when you start doing a workout at the beginning, it's difficult to do the workout. But the more you do it, more easier it becomes, and the more reps you can do, and the more sets you can do as well. So just be consistent and continue doing it. If you stop, you're gonna fall off the bandwagon. Your body's gonna reach a plateau, and you're gonna go back to square one, and won't be able to do the workout. I mean, this happens to the most of us. We all reach that point where we do a workout and exercise, and then we just get bored of it and stop doing it, and then we lose focus, and yeah, we can't do the exercise until we start again and start being consistent.
No, exactly. And that's why I say consistency is key to fitness and it's key to being healthy, because I can train this week and I can diet this week and I will feel great and I will be great. But then if I don't do it next week, then what was the point? Why did I suffer this week if I'm not going to carry on with it? So if you
Hmm.
want a healthy lifestyle, if you want to feel good, look good, overall, good health, um you need to be consistent with this. And you know what, health is, we take it for granted. It's the most important thing we have, so we need to look after it.
Hmm. Health is wealth. Shukran so much for joining me once again, Anisa.
I mean,
All right, so that was Aneesa Kathrada, our fitness trainer, giving us some tips on how to strengthen the core and why it's important to have a stronger core. Uh, your core is not just made up of your abs; it's not just the midsection in front. It's the midsection on the sides as well as the midsection on the back. If you have a stronger core, you'll have better posture. You'll be less tired. You'll have more energy. You'll be able to do a lot more things that you couldn't do with a weaker core. So it's not just about getting those nifty devices that help you strengthen, that helps you improve your posture. If it's going to help you improve those devices are going to help you improve your posture, you haven't strengthened your core. If you remove them, you will still have bad posture. So do the exercises that will strengthen your core instead of doing or buying devices that will just improve your posture for the moment. Anyways, if you have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, or you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. You are listening to the Mario Mukonda Show on Salam Media. Do stay with us. We will be right back.